Good. How are you doing?
I'm also doing great, thank you. All right, so before we get started, do you have any questions which you would like to discuss?
No, I'm good. It was a very good session. Last two sessions were very good.
All right, so I'll go with the next topics aligned then, as per the agendas. And, all right, so I'm just sharing my screen. I believe you guys can. Sorry, I mean you can see my screen.
Yeah.
All right. So the objective for the today's course is like we are going to be walking through dimensions in the tool. We're going to be walking through different dimensions, and we'll see how things happen over here. But before that, we are going to be having a discussion around basic building blocks of Anaplan. So I believe we just discussed this the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, did we discuss about time version list, central library calculation engine, UX dashboard, something like this?
Yes, 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 yes. You did.
Yeah,
I
right.
yes, I have a picture of that. Yes.
All right. So just extending that topic itself, and where there we saw like there were few things like
हाँ तो वही
just
ऐसी पैकेज वाला
just
है
give just give me a second, please.
2850 वाला कौन पैकेज कितना
Just
वाला
give me
है
a second.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
150
Okay. So, I mean, obviously, the other day we did explore like how is like how our central library calculation engine and modules are connected. How there's a flow from central library to calculation engine and then to UX and the dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
So what we are going to be doing today is like we will just walk through the components of central library, that is time, version, and list, and a few of the other options which are available onto the tool. So probably we are going to be logging in to Anaplan this time today,
Yep.
and we'll just have a look like how and where these options are. So I'm just logging in. 2015 Anaplan. I believe you have received the user ID and password for logging into this Anaplan space, right?
Yes.
Okay. So credentials. All right. So I have just logged into Anaplan workspace, and this is how the Anaplan space looks like. This is how the Anaplan workspace looks like. So it's more like you have a workspace, and then you have different models contained under the workspace. So just retreating once again. So you have a workspace. So this is like an entire workspace, and you have different
Hmm.
models under the workspace. Now it's pretty similar to the fact, like, when we discussed about connected planning, we just discussed, like, in a model at an enterprise itself, there will be connected planning thought process where different models would exist in a single workspace or in a single organization. So the way it happens, like, you have an organization possibly, and what if, suppose, let's take an example, there's an XYZ organization, and they plan to, implement a plan for their financial planning and supply chain planning. So ideally they're going to be, purchasing this workspace with Anaplan. So
Hmm.
Anaplan is going to be, giving them some services and providing some space over the cloud, maybe 120 GB, 130 GB initially they would have purchased, somewhere around that number. And then, that workspace is with the XYZ organization, and XYZ organization will give these workspace access to its employee, where the employees can come and start building different models. So there could be, like, one model would be standing specifically for your supply chain, another could be for your financial planning, there could be other for your other specific purposes as such. So that's the idea behind having these different models under different workspaces. So what we are going to be doing is, like, we'll just observe how a new model entirely looks like in Anaplan and what are the components available over there. So if I just go here, so what I'm going to be doing, I will be just creating a new model. So I have gone in one of the existing models, which is already into this workspace, and I am going to be creating a new model out there. So I just clicked on this gearbox, and then I clicked on new, and I'm just creating one new model. I just clicked on create model, and this is my new model. Okay, so in Anaplan, we
Hmm.
do create models. I mean, that's what the idea is. So that's the reason why I'm saying you this is a new model. So this is an entirely new empty model where there's no configurations which have been done yet till now. Now there are lots and lots of, different options which you see at the left hand sides. So these buttons, if you click one by one, there are different, options available, and these buttons are useful to use different features and available underlying configurations. Now For the matter of fact, like we did discussed about time, versions, and list. So this is how I can, get an access to the time configuration. I click on time, I see these many options. I click on versions, I see this. Similarly,
Okay.
there's another tab of general list. So this is the tab which is related with, creation of lists. Then there are modules over here. I mean, obviously we'll understand how to create them, but all the available option in the terms of, creating the dimensions or creating the calculation engine or maybe some other configurations are available in left hand side mostly, these
Mm-hmm.
tabs. So we'll explore each and every tab and we'll
Okay.
understand the purposes as well. But before that, there I would like to show a few things else as well. I mean, obviously, you click on this drop down, you get an option to navigate to the home, apps, my pages, and all that will can explore. Then you can search few things here, and then obviously you see the options to see the my account and all that. Like you will have having an access to the account, and you can change password and other account related information. So coming back over here now, if I see the model calendar or the time tab over here, so we'll just try and understand the available options which are present while setting up of time dimension. So these are the options which are available. We'll just try to see and understand what are the possible ways to use them and what exactly these options are. Now, the other day, I mean, the example which we discussed, that XYZ organization example will assume that real time use case. And over there, we were discussing that the product needs to be moved into different channels. The other example which we were discussing the other day was more related in the basic building blocks of Anaplan session, where we discussed like, I want to see the forecasted sales for FY 2022 month on the basis of product by geography, and this forecasting needs to be done taking into account past 3 years data. So that was my statement. And, if I specifically and explicitly mention, I wanted to see the forecasted sales month on month.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean? I want to see the forecasted sales in April 22, March 22, Jan 22, Feb 22, May, June, July, and so on and on for each month of 2022. So maybe this gives me an idea, like, how much sales of that specific product in specific geography could possibly be. Apart from that, there could be another scenario, and that is you may want to see the forecasted sales at weekly levels, and probably that could be that I want to see the forecasted sales for week 1
Mm-hmm.
March 2022, week 2 March 22, week 3 March 22, week 4 March 22, and similarly week by week for specifically different months out there. So again, this is nothing but you can assume that's like a weekly level planning. The first one was a monthly level planning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have a plannings where you are, if you have requirements, or if you have a model where the requirements will have monthly level planning, ultimately there's an option in Anaplan, and that is called a calendar type. Just give me a second, please.
Okay.
Uh, just give me 10 minutes, Louis. I mean, extremely sorry. I'm just having some urgent issues. Give me 10 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Hey, hi. Are you there?
Hi, are you back? Okay? Everything okay?
Yeah, actually, I had my pathologist today. I had to give blood sample. So, he just collected for this home collection. He came. So I was just giving my blood out there.
Oh, okay. Hope everything's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's like just normal, like full body checkup I was getting done just to observe like my cholesterols and all that stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
That's the reason why it took some time. All right, sorry for that interruption. So I ideally called him like at 9 a.m. IST, like after like maybe 20 minutes from now, but he came little early, so that was the reason it just got interrupted a little bit. All right, so again, I'll just share my screen and we'll get started
Okay.
from where we were, and that is over here. Now, like the way I was mentioning, like you have the different type of what do you say, different type of planning, either a day level or a week level and so on, and accordingly you can make decisions and you can define them in to this tool as well. Now if you have to do this monthly level planning or if we have to do a weekly level planning, to change that there's something like a calendar type over here. Now
Mm-hmm.
there's a calendar type. If you see the calendar type, it's mentioning calendar month, quarter, years. Then you have weeks 445, 454, or 544. Now, what exactly these are? It's more in the terms like whether you want a monthly level planning or whether you want a weekly level planning. And then you have something like weeks, general weeks, 13 for week periods. So you'll understand all of them. What are they? Not to worry, and we'll explore the other configurations options. But to explore this, what I'm going to be doing, I'm just creating one report. Okay, let's not be much bothered about how I am creating this report at this point of time. It's just the reason I'm doing it to show you few options available and how the time settings, the dimensions which you change at the initial level, at the time dimension level, will affect this area over here. So time setting is over here, and just acid sales at some time. So we'll assume like this is one of the reports. Okay, now this is like we'll just use that term report and will not use any Anaplan technical term. Ideally, this is called modules, but like we'll just say it like report at this point of time and use this term. And how it's helpful for us, like whatever we do here will get reflected into the reports where we use time as a dimension. So currently, if you see, the calendar type is calendar, month, quarter, years. And if you see over here, the report which we have created, that now we see that you have the forecasted sales value that could be stored at the different months of 2022. So it could be like your Jan, Feb, March, April, and so on. So you see the data is month on month over here.
Yep.
So if I just change the other configurations which I see, then that is like fiscal year start month. So fiscal year start month is from where or what is the starting month of that enterprise. So usually what we see, Like in organizations, the calendar month is like calendar start month is January, but mostly the fiscal start month remains somewhere around March or April in few organizations throughout the
Yeah.
globe. So if you have situation like that, then you can just change it and make this like, for instance, April.
Oh, okay.
Change this to April. What happens? My reports, I'll see an options now that is coming from April 21 till plus 12, that is March 2022. So from April 12, April 21, it's till March 2022. The reason being, you just changed in the fiscal year start month from here. So if you organization will have a different fiscal year, then you can very well change it at this side.
Okay. Yes.
So that you can do. And then I'll just keep it to Jan for simplification at this time. And then you have something like fiscal year label, and that is, you see here you have some like Jan, Feb, March, then you see Q1 FY 2022. So FY Q2 FY 2022. So this label, like it's called FY fiscal year. If you want, you can change this label. Maybe if you just keep it double eight, just for sample, and then you see it's like Q1 double eight double two. So this what is
Oh,
Yep. So it's showing you an aggregated data of the months under its quarter. So for the quarter one, the aggregated data Jan, Feb, March, right? So for quarter two, the aggregated data April, May, June, and just you are changing it by
yep.
the name. So again, we'll just keep it FY, the most common one, the most standard one. And then you have an option of defining in the current fiscal year. Now, what this current fiscal year is, like your Anaplan will not be able to understand or catch like what is the today's date from a cloud. In Anaplan, you can't you can't
Hmm.
define like what is the today's date or what is the today's month. So for the activities like this, what you need to do is, if you can't define the today's date, what happens like you need to explicitly tell the system like what is going to be the current fiscal year. So current fiscal is nothing for which year you're going to be doing the planning. If you are doing the planning for from Jan 2022 or for the FY 2022, you can select this period. If you can change it if you're doing it for the period FY 21. So if I just keep it to FY 2022 over here at this point of time, and that's the reason why you see it's like Jan 22 and so on. So the planning is for FY 2022 here. If I change it to maybe 21, so our reports will show data from 21 month.
Hmm.
So it's like we have like Jan till December, and then if I see the report, and That's the definition. And apart from that, you see the number of past years and number of future year option. Now, what exactly this is like, you say like you want to see the forecasted sales for FY 2022 on the basis of past 3 years data.
Mm-hmm.
So, forecasted sales, as soon as I say this statement, one thing gets clear. We are talking about the datas of maybe next year, that is FY 2022. We will assume like, the current fiscal year is, FY 21, and the past 3 years data will possibly be 2019 and 18th data. So, in those aspects, if you think that you have 2019, 28, 2019, 2020, 2021 data's around with you. So
Mm-hmm.
what you need to do is you need to define that into the system. And if you just include number of past years as 3, for instance, what happens in your report is your data starts coming in from the past 3 years available.
Okay.
So, for an example, currently it was lastly showing from Jan 21 till December 21. Now it's showing the past 3 years other data, and that is Jan 18 till December 18, and then you have from Jan 19 till December 19, and then Jan 20 till December 20. So these are the past 3 years data, and apart from that, that's the current year data, Jan 21 till December 21. So you are seeing the currently the 4 years data with you. That is number of past years plus the current fiscal year data. So the system is now capable to store the 4 years data. Then you have an option like controlling the number of future years. So suppose I keep it to 1. Now what happens? I will be able to see the 2022 data as well. For an instance, it starts from Jan 2022 and it's ending in December 2022. So that's how the number of future years is controlled. Then you have something like current period. So current period is more like it will be used or taken as a reference. Okay, so it will be taken as a reference where we are going to be using, or what we are going to be using to mark like what is the ongoing current period. So for an example, if this is like January 2022, I can define it like here, like the current period is January 2022, and this signifies like what could be the today's month or the current period going on. So one matter of fact still remains, like anything before today is going to be my actuals, anything after today is going to be my forecast. So that's how the actuals and forecast values could be dependent upon the current period. And then you have an option like include the quarter totals, half year totals, y2d, y2g, and total of all periods. So over here you see this is quarter data. So you see the aggregated quarter data, that is Q1. Now the question still remains like why you see that at quarter level, why not at half year level? So why you don't see half year data as aggregated as well, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
need to enable this checkbox. If you just enable this checkbox, so now you're going to be seeing the aggregated data at the half yearly level. So you see at Q1, Q2, then H1, right? So now you start seeing the data is getting aggregated at half yearly level as well. So similarly, you can just include the other aggregated options, aggregation options, which is available quarter, half year, Y2D, Y2G, and total of all periods. So that aggregation we are able to see presently over here. And possibly the factor controlling that aggregation is that include checkbox. Okay.
Okay.
So these are the options which are available when you are setting up of time dimensions. I'll just like request you that if you can explore a little, if you can just check in and just have a look today, like the options available for monthly calendars. And tomorrow, what we're going to be doing, and tomorrow,
Mhm.
what we are going to be doing is like we will discuss about the weekly level plannings. Okay.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'll just wrap it up for today and we'll again begin from weekly level setting time calendars from tomorrow. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye bye.